Greetings, my champions, and I want to welcome you to Live with Shatufa. Thank you so much for those that continue to support this platform, and of course, those that support the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. Well, it is so amazing, really, what we have been seeing happening in Mozambique, where quite a lot of fires are burning in the streets with running battles with the police, and Mozambicans adamant that the elections were stolen. And as we were talking about these issues in many occasions, you would find that we saw people like George Charamba coming out and refusing, and Nick Mangwana and other Warakashi, they came out and refuted that ZANU-PF did not interact or interfere in the elections of other sovereign countries. While we have videos of people like Chinamasa in Botswana there, being part of the BDP campaign, and quite a lot of disturbing videos about Zimbabweans voting and confessing to have voted in Mozambique, already showing on video some of the IDs from Mozambique. But I don't know why ZANU-PF would want to embarrass themselves to this level, because right now, as we speak, the Southern African human rights lawyers who were investigating the issue of Zimbabweans having voted in Mozambique, they are saying that over 290,000 Zimbabweans voted in Mozambique's election. And just imagine this is so disturbing, especially when we look at Mnangagwa supposedly being the chairman of SADC, and then he is found to be doing all this stuff. I'm sure that the countries of SADC are just, paying the price for what they did. While, of course, they know what Mnangagwa has been doing in Zimbabwe, what ZANU-PF has been doing, and how ZANU-PF has been, killing Zimbabweans, abducting people, and all the shenanigans that they've been doing. It's just so amazing why these people would want to continue standing with such a rogue government. But unfortunately, right now, when we look at what is happening, they are going down one after the other. They are biting the dust. And no matter how much they may try to want to to refuse and refute that they ever interfered in the elections of other countries, the evidence is just overwhelming. Evidence is all over, and there is no one who can say that ZANU-PF did not interfere in these elections, right? So the human rights lawyers for Southern Africa, they are really into business, and they've researched. And like they said last time when they were talking to Sophie, they promised that they are still investigating and they will come up with a report. And I'm sure this is the report that has just come up, showing that a lot of our Zimbabwean people voted. And, this is not good. This is really very, very bad for us as a nation, right? Uncle Jens indicates here that the Mira Mashingo, you're doing a fantastic job. Don't be deterred by threats from the government. The moment they say the government ministers involved have dual citizenship, who were helping those with dual citizenship to exercise their right to vote, tells you need to know about the allegations. Imagine the cojones of Chris Mutsvangwa to defend the rights of Mozambicans in the diaspora when it comes to voting, and yet that same right is denied to Zimbabweans, right? So this is the report that is saying 296,000 Zimbabweans voted in Mozambique's elections. Southern African human rights lawyers. So I don't know how this is ever going to be treated. Of course, we know that SADC having been this toothless for a very, very long time, where they've just been dancing to the tune of Mnangagwa. We are yet to see how this thing is going to end at the end of the day, because once reports like these are out, they really need follow-ups. And if they are not going to do follow-ups now, These are issues that will continue to cause, these disruptions that we are seeing in Mozambique, and the mayhem that has been in the streets of Mozambique ever since, the announcement of the election. Now the fight is on, and it is going on. It's not dying down at any moment. We are not seeing Mozambican people ever relenting, because the demonstrations are becoming stronger and stronger by the day. We don't know what Mnangagwa is going to plan with their SADC bloc, whatever they are going to come up with, the solutions to the situation that is in Mozambique, a situation that was deliberately created by ZANU-PF and Emerson Mnangagwa. If they knew that Frelimo is just unpopular on its own, they were not even supposed to try and do that. Frelimo has been rigging elections ever since for a long time. They are not popular at all. So no matter how much Mnangagwa would want to use Zimbabweans to vote, how many Zimbabweans would you really be able to assist them in voting? Because 200,000 really wouldn't be a very big number when it comes to really changing the position of a party that is not wanted, a party that has lost the majority support, like what we've seen in Mozambique. So we will continue to see how far SADC is going to be treating this very report that has come out, and how they are going to respond to it. And it seems like we've heard that Ramaphosa is like being given the responsibility to be looking into the crisis in Mozambique. I don't know how far that is going to, and how far that is going to alleviate the problem. Because the problem is not about trying to solve the current crisis that is at hand. We want to go back to the root cause. The root cause is that the election was not done properly. The root cause is that there was chicanery in the elections. The root cause is that Mnangagwa interfered. So what is simply needed there is Mozambique must just nullify those elections, and they go back again to have a free and fair election. And that can be also monitored, by other international organizations and things like that. Because if on their own they are having a problem with their electoral commission, which is failing to, prove where they got the figures that they announced from, it's just the style, the Chigumba style exactly, which Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF have continued to teach these other guys that are around, that you can simply play around with figures, and that is it. Unfortunately, with the countries like Mozambique and other countries, of course, where citizens could still voice out their concerns, it will never be as easy as it can be in Zimbabwe. That is why Nyusi and El Chapo are having a hard time right now of how to handle the situation on the ground. The situation still remains very volatile, and we are seeing videos that are coming out of there. They are really showing that things are not well, and something definitely has to be done earlier to save the situation, because things are getting out of hand totally and totally. Mkoma Ernest here is saying 290,000 pakanyanya. Sure, zvakanyanyisa. That's a big number. That's too much, interference that Mnangagwa did there. And zvonyadzisa. This is just so embarrassing, especially for our country. And look at what is happening to Mnangagwa, and the kind of reputation that he's going to be living, a bad one, a very bad one, right? Koma Ishi saying, Shalom, Apostle Chatufa, our God is systematically dismantling the oppressive so-called liberation movements. Definitely, those are that's why things are now tough in Mozambique. They definitely have to come up with a way of how to solve this. Kupera zvokumhanya, hondo yacho is even escalating even worse. Kuma Ephraim is saying, good evening, my brother Chatufa, Chete, and good evening, family. Thank you so much. I hope you are doing great there. Soko, how are you doing also here? And Gogomawire, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Gogonube is also here. Thank you so much. And she says, greetings, family. Ichokwadi chakubuda. Chokwadi chakubuda manj. Our God is able. Yes, we are in that season. Remember, the season of exposure. Everest is saying the crocodile is now out of water. God is in it. Moto aiwa moto ngauramba uchipfuta. Toda kuti moto ngaupfute paMozambique papapa, hapana chokumirira. Hondo ngaenderere mberi until victory is certain. Pacha isu magamba eshanduko chatuzi chete. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Ikanya Clips, how are you doing? Sister Judith is saying, greetings, family. Chatufa chete. God is in it, indeed. So this is what we are looking at, an embarrassment really that has come to Emerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF, and they want to continue moving around, gallivanting in their stupid scarves. But to be honest, these guys have been exposed big time. And I'm sure at this juncture, there is no other party, especially the liberation parties, that would still want to associate with Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. I can see that right now, Varakasha are making so much noise and dancing all over the streets just because the Botswana president has come and was with Chiwenga and then met ED. So why do they expect that the Botswana president was never supposed to visit Zimbabwe? No, even if they don't see eye to eye, even if they are water and oil, but there are diplomatic meetings that will have to happen. There's no way that they can totally avoid each other. ZANU-PF is already taking it as a victory. These people are wicked. They are already taking it some kind of a victory or some kind of what. Once Chamisa achaita say, Imi, what is Chamisa to do with that? Chamisa akadaidzwa uko. Akayazonzi, right, we recognize you, we are kuno. And Mnangagwa akabva achitiza. You have a government business. So when it is government business, it has to be government to government. But when it comes to political parties, then it's political parties. I don't know why they want to pretend as if they don't understand. So it's not simple. This is just quite very, very simple. But anyway, this is what it is. Very, very interesting indeed what we continue to see happening with the ZANU-PF just, clutching on straws, trying to, just, gallivant over things that are just out of question here. The government to government business will have to continue happening, but that does not mean that Bogo Duma is now in agreement with what Mnangagwa is doing. Definitely not. He's not in agreement, and he will never be in agreement. He has said it in their manifesto. It's written in black and white that they are not going to support any parties that come into power through rigging of elections and disrespecting of human rights and things like that. So that will not change. Duma is not like Mnangagwa, who just overnight change the manifesto of their party to suit himself. So definitely that is the truth that is on the ground. Otherwise, this is what it is, family. We will be cruising throughout with many shows that we are going to be doing. Otherwise, we still have another show that is coming right on this channel, live with Chatufa. And I want to continue to encourage us to subscribe to the channel, to like and share, and also put your comments and tell us what you think. Let's continue to pray Zimbabwe shall be free. And we say amen and amen and amen.